Aline Wilson here, and I want to introduce you to David Lunt, potter extraordinaire.
Well, thank you. Those are pretty kind words. I don't know if I'm that extraordinary. But anyhow,
David,
we're going to talk about smart.
this is that.
It's copper matte finish. It's done with basically in a raku kiln. Comes out at 1800 degrees. Looks jet black. Then I spray alcohol on it. I'll let it burn for about 5-10 minutes. Then I put it in an airtight container. And it smolders out. When it cools, I take a blowtorch and just go up and down with it, and it develops these different color streaks. You can do them circular if you want. You can do them up and down. It's just a matter with the torch. And when you get the color you want, you spray it with water and it freezes it. Which is a fun thing to do. Probably my favorite type of work is my crystallines, which are really beautiful pieces.
Yes, it is.
They're grown inside the glaze. A piece like this takes about 15 hours in the kiln to grow these. You can grow them in all different colors and stuff. And they're a lot of fun, and depending on how long you hold it, the bigger the crystals will get. So every now and then you have to look in the kiln, see if you got what you want, and then you just stop it. Otherwise they'll all grow together and they'll look rather ugly.
What kind of crystal?
Well, I mean, they're macro crystalline glazes. To explain it, you liquefy this glaze. It's filled with zinc oxide and silica. When you put it in a liquid form, and then you rapidly cool it by about 400 degrees, so you go from like 2300 down to 1900. Keep it there. What happens is zinc and silica have a natural attraction to each other. They migrate through the glaze and find each other. They hit and bump, and they start forming the nucleus from the crystal, and they'll form from inside outward. The longer you keep it at that temperature, the bigger the crystal will grow. And when you get it to where you want, you stop it. If you want to put a ring around it, you raise the temperature by 50 degrees, drop it again, and you freeze it, and that will have a ring. And you can keep doing that and grow as many rings as you want. But I don't like them with the rings. They don't look as nice to me.
Now, when you put that back, I want you to briefly tell me about this piece.
These pieces are copper matte, and they're basically sprayed with nothing but copper oxide. I use red copper oxide. Mix it with water, and to get it to mix, you have to add dishwashing liquid, because red copper oxide will not mix in water. It stays afloat. Anyhow, after I get that, I spray it on with a paint gun, car painting gun, and I put a few coats on, and then I fire it. I bring this up to 1900 degrees. It'll turn kind of glassy. Then I'll cool it to 1500 in the kiln. Take the top of the kiln off. I pull it out and put it on a pedestal. And as I spin the pedestal, I spray it with 92% alcohol. 92% because it gives a better color than 70% alcohol. I spray that about 7 coats, so it takes about 2 minutes of constant flaming. Then I remove it and I put it in a trash can, put a lid on it, and I rob it of oxygen. So while that pot is burning, to get oxygen, it pulls it out of the clay. When it pulls the oxygen from the clay, it creates a copper finish. Then you can highlight the different colors with a benzomatic torch. And so you can you can make them bluer, you can make them more copper, you can make them purple. That all depends on how much heat you use. The more heat, the more it'll go blue. The less heat, the more it goes copper. And you just kind of play with it to get what you like, and that's that.
All right, we're going to go over here and sit down now. And will you tell us how adversity
Sure.
affected you?
Okay, sure. Okay. Adversity.
Art is all over the house.
Yeah, dust collectors, as I like to call them. I kind of always took art or creating. I don't really call what I do art. I just call it creating stuff, making stuff. I'm a guy who plays with clay. That's it. I am not an artist. I play with clay. And I always took it for granted, and I just made whatever I wanted, never really thinking, just doing what I wanted. But then that all changed a little over 8 years ago. I'll be dead honest with you. I was diagnosed with stage 4 inoperable pancreatic cancer. I wasn't given any chance of seeing more than a couple weeks to a few months. Upon that diagnosis, my sister was with me, and she said, well, what do you want to do, Dave? After what the doctor told you, I said, how about we go find a doctor who tells me something a little more positive? So I found another doctor, my sister did, up in Roanoke, Dr. Susan Martin. I'm putting a plug in for you because you're great. I met with her, and she said that I was going to get better. And I'd asked her, well, tell me, Doc, how many people have you cured of pancreatic cancer? She said none. And I said, well, what makes you think I'll be the first? And she said, I know you will be. And she was right. And I went through some terrible, terrible treatments, ungodly. As I was coping with this whole diagnosis, something really neat happened up at Crystalin Hospital in Roanoke. They have a healing arts program, which is funded by the National Council for the Arts. It's for people who are sick, who like to do art, and the theory being a way to get your mind off of what you were dealing with. I thought it was kind of far-fetched, but I said, hey, it's an art show, what the heck, I'll enter. Well, I worked and worked, going through my chemo treatments. Finally, after my 9th one, I created a really nice piece. I entered it in the show. I think I won 2nd place, I'm not sure, can't remember, but that's not the point. What I realized is, in that whole time I was creating my art, I forgot all about my cancer. I wasn't even thinking about it. And now looking back at that, I honestly believe by keeping my mind off of all the bad with dealing with the cancer and my chemos and all that, without burning up wasted energy in my mind worrying, it gave my body a chance to try to fight it for itself. And for some strange reason, it worked. And I've been cancer-free for 8 years now. I don't know why I was lucky that way, but I was. But you still go back for your scans every 6 months, so you worry it's going to show up, because pancreatic cancer usually comes back. Like 99% of the time it does. But it has not. I mean, now I'm out of the woods to where I don't have to get all those scans anymore. If you go 8 years, they say it'll never come back. And that was great. But that didn't keep me from another cancer when I got throat cancer, which was 3.5 years ago. That's gone, by the way, too. And you're going to say, man, you're a lucky son of a gun. Yeah, you're right, I am. But I swear, it was the process of being able to create and doing art, if that's what you want to call it, always took me away from that bad world of cancer. And I feel bad for people who have cancer, that are going through it, they have no creative outlet. And if they really had someone else to spend that energy, instead of sitting around the house, booing and hooing, and feeling miserable, and sorry for yourself. So find, if it's not through clay, it's not through painting, maybe it's not even through art, find something to get your mind off of cancer. Because I tell you what, people, in your lifetime, you're either going to get cancer or know somebody who got it. You may know some who survived, we hope, but you're going to know a lot who died from it. It's one common bond we all have in common, people, in this world: cancer. And that's a shame, but that's the way it is. Yeah, so this, I don't know, let's face it, never give up hope. I never gave up hope. I went through some terrible stuff, but I never, ever quit. And if I can do it, anybody else who has cancer, you can do it too. And you know what? If something wrong with your body, and if things don't feel right, get to a doctor. Don't wait. Because if you wait, it's usually too late. I waited, and it was almost too late for me. Because I mean, I couldn't be operated on, because it was too bad. But chemotherapy did work, so it's no fun, guys. But there's one thing I can say: people take it the wrong way, but I'm gonna say it. Everybody in this life should have cancer at least once. But you should survive it. Because when you do, you're going to come out such a better person. You're going to be stronger, you're going to have more confidence, and you're going to be more appreciative of the very little simple things in life. And you know what? It may teach you to be a little more tolerant of the people who we've all met. They're either on the road in front of you, or they're in the grocery store in front of you, who seem like they're clueless. And you get impatient with them because they're fumbling and things. They're just slowing your day down. Just remember, you don't know what they've been through or what they're dealing with. And you know what? Someday you'll be in that boat. So be kind to people. Really, that's the bottom line. And through all this, taught me how to be kinder.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope this does somebody some good who's maybe having this, dealing with this
Thank you
type
for
of an
sharing.
issue. Certainly.
I'm a pretty girl.